National Tuberculosis Eradication Program objectives to achieve 90% notification rate for all cases, to achieve 90% success rate for all new and 85% for retreatment cases, to significantly improve successful outcome of treatment of drug-resistant tuberculosis cases, to achieve decreased morbidity and mortality of HIV-associated TB, to improve outcome of TB case in the private sector. Then coming to key activities include active case finding and use of newer and shorter regimen and private sector engagement, and then financial and nutritional support to TB patients and IT enabled surveillance. Preventive and awareness measures. These are the objectives and key elements of the National Tuberculosis Eradication Program. Then coming to linkage of National Tuberculosis Eradication Program with National Health Programs, National AIDS Control Program, Poshan Abhiyan and Rashtriya Bal Swasthi Karyakram and Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centers and National Tobacco Control Programs, then National Program for Prevention and Control of Cancer, Diabetes, Cardiovascular Diseases and Stroke. These programs are connected with National TB Eradication Program. Coming to the main role of CHO in the National TB Eradication Program. There are three main areas: prevention, detection, treatment and adhesion, record maintenance and report writing. Then role of CHO in identifying and referring the presumptive TB and extrapulmonary TB patients for further investigations. The CHO must plan and monitor the awareness and community mobilization activities. Then second one is screen the person for symptoms of TB. Third point is facilitate and ensure complete diagnosis evaluation with microscopy, radiology and molecular tests, and follow and monitoring treatment of patients through visit and review of record fortnightly, and plan and organize and implement active case finding in their area. Ensure comorbidity and drug susceptibility testing and linkage of comorbidity patients and drug resistant TB patient. Ensure inventory of laboratory request forms, specimen containers and anti-TB drugs, and coordinate with PHCs for logistics patients management. Ensure record maintenance and reporting on NICSHI. These are the roles of the CHO in the TB eradication program. And coming to identifications of presumptive pulmonary TB cases. A person with any of signs and symptoms of suggestive of TB, including cough for 2 weeks or more, fever for 2 weeks or more, and significant weight loss, loss of appetite, hemoptysis or any abnormality in chest radiography. The following are also be investigated as presumptive pulmonary TB. Contact of microbiologically confirmed TB patient having cough of any duration. Then presumptive or confirmed extrapulmonary TB having cough of any duration. HIV positive patient having cough of any duration. Diabetes and malnutrition or cancer and immunocompromised. Identification of presumptive extrapulmonary TB cases. Presence of organ specific symptoms and signs like swelling of lymph nodes, pain, swelling in joints, neck stiffness, disorientation, etc. and are constitutional symptoms like significant weight loss and persistent fever for 2 weeks or more, night sweats, swelling of lymph nodes, pain and swelling in the joints, and neck stiffness and disorientation. These are the symptoms of the presumptive extrapulmonary TB case. Then coming to identifications of presumptive pediatric TB. Children with persistent fever or cough for 2 weeks or more, loss of weight, no weight gain, history of unexpected weight loss or no weight gain in the past 3 months. Loss of weight is defined as a loss of more than 5% body weight as compared to highest weight recording in last 3 months. History of contact with infectious TB cases. In a symptomatic child, contact with a person with any form of active TB within the last 2 years may be significant. Diagnostic tools for TB: X-ray, sputum microscopy, rapid molecular test, CABENT, TrueNet, and line probe assay, and culture sensitivity. These are the tools for diagnosis of the TB. Steps for sputum collection. First one is get the person's mouth is clear, and second one is person to breathe in and 2 to 3 minutes, and the third one is label the specimen cups, and fourth one is ask the person to cough and give the sputum, and fifth one is collect the 2 sputum samples. Sixth one is fill the referral form. And seventh one is transport the sputum within 24 hours for testing, and eighth one is share the sputum report to the person. Then coming to referral linkages for diagnosis of TB or drug-resistant TB. For diagnosis of TB or drug-resistant TB, the following are referral linkages. The first step is identification of presumptive cases in wellness centers or from the community. Then second one is collection of sputum and transport to the TB district centers, testing district centers, and the step 3 is sputum test at TB district centers, and the step 4 is patient is paused to put on treatment by MO. 2 sputum samples from each patient is sent to NAT at district TB centers for confirmation of TB and also to know the resistance to rifampicin. Then step 5 is sample detect with MTB at NAT site. Regimen and drugs for treatment of TB. Standards for TB care in the India STCI guidelines are following for all TB patients, whether the being treating in public or private sector. The treatment of DSTB is started at PHI when the diagnosis of TB is clinically and microbiologically confirmed, and on cabinet when no resistance to first-line drugs is observed. The treatment regimen following in each phase are intensive phase and continuous phase. In intensive phase, adults, the treatment regimen consists of the 8 weeks, 56 doses of HRZD, that is isoniazid H, rifampicin or pyrazinamide Z, and ethambutol E in daily doses as per weight and 8 band categories. Children, the treatment regimen consists of 8 weeks, 56 doses of HRZ, that is the isoniazid rifampicin pyrazinamide in daily doses as per weight band categories. Ethambutol is given separately for children to monitor ophthalmic side effects. Then coming to bidirectional screening and referral for TB diabetes patient. 4 symptoms complex screening for active TB in diabetic patient is to be done. Similarly, TB patient should be screened for diabetes mellitus. And screening in expected to carry out every time the patient visit the diabetes mellitus clinic. Patients are asked whether they are on TB treatment, and if not, they are screened for 4 symptom complex: cough of any duration, fever, weight loss, and night sweats. On screening, patient with one or more symptoms will be referred to the nearest diagnostic facilities for diagnosis of TB. Then coming to TB patient public health action. The prevention of TB and awareness generation in community-based TB, infection control, universal drug susceptibility testing and testing for comorbidity, HIV and diabetes, etc. Counseling and education of TB patients and his or her family members on cough, etiquettes and treatment adherence, and ensuring the uninterrupted availability of supplies, equipment and services. Contact tracing and investigations, TPT and referral, treatment adherence support, social and livelihood support, psychological counseling in that awareness generation about various schemes and availing benefits under them, and stigma reduction. Then role of CHO in management of TB. Early identification of TB patients including the missing TB patients, early referral and facilitating treatment initiation, early identification and referral of adverse drug reaction, monthly clinical follow-up and post-treatment follow-up, adherence monitoring follow-up and supporting patient retrieval action, psychosocial counseling of TB patients and family, undertaking nutritional counseling, coordination and linkages, supporting public health action activities. These are the roles and